There's nothing that speaks to God's reconciling power than getting two people that have their own ideas and their own backgrounds and then having them live together for all their years.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a testimony to God's grace.
We met in the summer of 1998 in the state of Oklahoma. I was doing summer stock at a theater, and I did 5 or 6 shows in one summer. You know, it's one of those things where you're rehearsing during the day for one show, you're doing another show at night. It's like musical theater boot camp. Matt was really a local celebrity. He was the front man for this rock band. It's not surprising that we linked up. It was pretty transactional. I felt like he, you know, was this good-looking, cool, for lack of a better word, guy that I was proud to be seen around town with.
Where'd you go, Magnolia?
I was full of machismo on the outside, either as a rocker or with the best-looking girl I could find.
Notice he didn't say the best-looking girl in the world, just the best-looking girl he could find.
Wow, she's very
sensitive.
Very sensitive.
Greener pastures, but she won't reach
We have a relatively short engagement. We get married and load up a U-Haul and drive cross-country to New York City. I remember week 1, yes, here, small town girl, doing it, making it, pounding the pavement. I got hired on the very first audition I ever went to.
And I needed to work 80 hours a week and support her so she could audition. And there was a pressure cooker for me and I was dying. But there's nothing that will bring you out of this idea that the world is all about you more than marriage.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get married and it's going to be perfect, and your wife is going to serve all of your needs and take care of everything that you need taken care of and never fight with you and never tell you anything that you don't want to hear about yourself. You know, and then you get married and you're in far away and you're a tiny little fish in this big pond and you're fighting all the time. And we would have probably gotten divorced.
Yeah. When we started walking with the people of God and reading the Word of God, and the church encouraged us and saw something in our weakness and in our brokenness that God could use.
You got more than 9 lives.
It's like, oh, I'm not just a song and dance girl. You're not just a rocker. God is going to actually use us.
And we began to sing together, and harmony began to occur. And then we would talk about our marriage between the songs, and the songs spoke to what was going on in our hearts.
But it's you by my side, somehow helping me to break free.
I have to tell you, the last few years in New York were some of the best years of my life. Would you say that?
Yeah, because I feel like there was a sharpening of the focus on who we were, what we were meant for, and how we could turn our relational pain into something beautiful that could encourage others.
And I don't know if you'll use this, and I don't know.
By the way, you notice how we're getting closer?
I don't know.
Like we're starting to touch now. It's like it's happening. Like we're starting to, even in your midst, there's unity that's beginning to occur. We had Maggie in New York and we stayed there with her for a year. So we decided to move to Tyler so that the kids could have grandparents.
And their own room, because we lived in 600 square feet.
Some folks move so fast.
We started B3 Ministries in the fall of 2010. We call it Blessed Beyond Belief. Gratitude rather than entitlement. Forgiveness rather than embitterment. That's being blessed beyond belief. That we're still married, that God has gifted us with songs and with
allowed us to play
passion
them
and purpose.
But the forest for the trees.
What we do with couples, it's pretty unconventional. It's a little bit outside of the box. We typically meet 2-on-2. So we have the perspective of both husband and wife, meeting with husband and wife, and we really lead with our brokenness.
Creates a safe space for them to also say, oh, you too?
Yeah.
You know, the B3 Ministries exists at the intersection of faith, art, and family.
We have been granted the opportunity to witness marriage go from total misery to not just staying together, but now thriving. In addition to the counseling that we do, I have been granted a wonderful gift, and that is the love of teaching musical theater. It's really exciting that I only get to impart my love for the stage and for singing and dancing with these girls, but speak into these girls' lives and do it through something as exciting and rewarding as musical theater.
We just had Mark and Kirsten Ford in from San Clemente, California. Mark is a longtime favorite of mine, a fantastic guitarist. This is a couple that has also been redeemed and is continuing to learn alongside us what it is to be married and what it is to die to self and live to Christ.
Gosh, this is mind-boggling. We're up here with the Mark and Kirsten Ford, but rather, wow, we are up here with people just like us that have hurt one another and have come to the end of ourselves, and that God has wrapped His arms around and restored, and is continuing to restore. That one of them is about to file, and now when I see them, they're still hurting, but holding hands and saying, God has seen us through, and we are in this for the long haul. It's the same thing. I mean, that's a miracle.
We often talk
that's
about
a miracle
going
to me.
from misery to ministry. And I think that people who operate out of gratitude for what they have been given are closer to the heartbeat of the life God intends for them. So from whatever platform that we're granted, whether it's in a restaurant or in a church or in a backyard or in a living room with 2 couples or 1,000 people, you know, we want to speak about the recreative grace of God. And that's it.
That's it.